What's up YouTube, Dal here from Zephyr War Games, bringing you an update to Skull Servants. Now, I absolutely love this deck. It's so funny and it's just got a brand new card in Blazing Vortex, which takes it to a whole new level. At the end of the video as well, I'll also show you a combo, and a massive shout out on that combo specifically to Super Nix. So go check out their channel. They've got a Skull Servant video on there and it's got loads of combos with it, which are very, very helpful. But I would like to showcase from inspiration of this video the first combo, because the first combo they did was nuts. It's like a 12k attack directly OTK King of the Skull Servant, so absolutely love it. Regardless, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell and subscribe, and I will show you the full version of this particular deck, and I'll also do test down videos if it gets at least 50 likes. And without further ado, let's create straight into the profile. So of course you play triple of the brand new card, and it is basically called White Bacon. So, you know, he just wants to have a barbecue with his family. You know, what more could be wrong with that? So this card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. If a level 3 or lower zombie monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand except itself that are either Skull Servant or specifically list Skull Servant in their text. Then discard 1 card. So for those of you that don't know how the deck kind of operates, but the idea behind this is you can actually add White Mare, White Prince, or you can add White Princess and White Prince, and then you discard the White Prince, and then the Prince will then send. And the idea is that you want to stack up your graveyard, get your King of the Skull Servants out of the deck, and then the King of the Skull Servants gains attack, gains 1,000 attack for each Skull Servant card in the graveyard. So obviously White Prince, Mare, Princess, they all count as Skull Servants, so he just beasts himself up by no means. Speaking of the Mac Daddy himself, we do have triple King of the Skull Servants. So again, as I said, the original attack of this card becomes the number of King of the Skull Servants and or Skull Servant cards in your graveyard times 1,000. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard as a result of battle, remove from play one other King of the Skull Servant or Skull Servant card in your graveyard and special summon this card. Rarely you're going to actually be using this, considering this is an OTK deck, but that secondary effect may come into handy. Other than that, you're just going, here's a level 1 beat stick, haha, to the face, a bit like Grim Manju. Triple White Prince, this was like an £8 common, but then we got it reprinted in Maximum Gold and it became like a 90p common, which is beautiful. So if this card is sent to the graveyard, just sent to the graveyard from anywhere, you can send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady of White from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. You can banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from the graveyard, special on 1 King of Skull Servant from your deck. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. So because of all that text, he is searchable. Because he is just sent, he just pretty much just floods your graveyard. And because it doesn't say anywhere on that hard once per turn, you're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Then we've got Triple White Mare. Again, this got a very nice reprint in Duvo as an ultra rare. So this card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. You can discard this card, then activate one of the following effects. Target one of your banished Skull Servants or White Mares, return it to the graveyard. Target one of your banished Lady in Whites or King of the Skull Servants and special summon it. Again, it doesn't say anywhere on this card that it is a hard once per turn, which is beautiful because the idea is you get to bring back your Lady in White and then you get to play again. We then play double Skull Servant and double Lady of White alongside double White Princess. Now, because of Bacon, you're able to take out one of each of these because you're actually through combos and through plays going to be searching these, going to be dumping them, that you don't, or you shouldn't ever really need to go through 3 of them. So Princess is, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send 1 White Prince from your deck to the graveyard. During your player's turn, you can send this card from the hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to their original levels or ranks times 300. So if you're going to send this while you've got a King of the Skull Servant, it's only going to lose 300. Yet it's going to be on like 12k, so it doesn't matter. Lady in White, face up level 3 or lower zombie monsters on the field except herself cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, they are unaffected by spell and trap effects. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. And obviously, White Princess as well becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. Now, these two, like, obviously, White Princess is going to be good when you normal summon it. But the idea is you're just going to be flooding these with the graveyard and they're level 3, so it does help you make your rank 3 plays later on. Moving on to just the generic zombies, but this card, the combos you can do with this and a White Bacon is nuts. So good. It is a double Foolish Burial. It's a tuner. It gives you Halley Firebrax plays. It gives you rank 3 plays. It can give you Synchro level 8s or 6s plays. It's absolutely nuts and puts in so much work. We've then got double Mizuki and a single Gozuki. You can play 3 Mizuki, but the idea is you're actually going to loop Mizuki in this particular combo and in this particular build. And then Gozuki, his brother, is just there as an additional Foolish Burial as well. And it actually helps you out a mass amount. And then we've got the one spicy tech, and again, this tech comes from Super Nix. I take no credit on this one. And this is Doomsday Horror. Now, the reason this is so good is that in the combo, which I'll show you at the end of the video, as you're building up your board, you then equip Doomsday Horror to your Unizombie, and then once Unizombie leaves the field, the Doomsday Horror is destroyed because it can't be equipped to it anymore and it loses its target. So when that happens, this card's attack and defense are equal to the number of banished dark monsters, which again is very irrelevant. But if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, return all banished dark monsters to the graveyard. So the idea behind that is all of your Skull Servants, being Lady in White, White Mare, White Prince, King of the Skull Servant, White Bacon, that you're going to be banishing to set up your White Prince plays, are all going to go back into the graveyard. So all of a sudden, you'll end your board with a King of the Skull Servant which is only going to be like 3 or 4k, and then you're going to destroy this card, this is going to go to the graveyard, and they're all going to go back into the graveyard, boosting him by a mass absurd amounts. Then we've got Triple Ash Blossom, purely because it is a zombie, it is one of the best hand traps around, and it's a tuner, so it actually comes into more relevance in other ways than you might think. And then the one Plague Spreader, again, just part of the combo to get everything going. Very important, but the combo's so good. Like, once you see it, you'll understand. Then onto the spells, we've got triple Forbidden Droplet. Don't really need to go over that one too much. Triple Pot of Prosperity. If you don't have Prosperity, you can put in stuff like Allure of Darkness. And Allure of Darkness, the thing is, you don't really want to be burning through your deck with Allure of Darkness. You want to be specifically searching for set pieces, which is why Pot of Prosperity is a little bit better. Plus, because you played such a varied extra deck, if you can't get the 12k OTK, you've also got the defensive route, and then you've also got an access code route. So you can just banish the components that you don't need. And then the idea is that from your plays, you either want to get to another King of the Skull, sorry, not King, a White Bacon and a Unizombie. They're the 2 cards you want in your hand to get your full combo going. Another option you can play is Jack in the Hand, and if the opponent doesn't know what the deck does, they're going to help you out. But if they do, they can kind of pull your combos apart from that Jack in the Hand combo. We'll then play 5-1 off, so you've got the one Call by the Grave, you want to protect your stuff, you've got the 1-1-for-1, most of your important cards are level 1s. Monster Reborn, bring it back, go again. Foolish Burial, again, send anything and you're good to go. And the one Reasoning, and the reason I've put Reasoning, it is a 41 card deck, so you can cut this if you want, but the reason I put this in here is because it's either going to become a Foolish Burial for you, or it's going to become an extender. So it actually does 2 jobs in the deck, which is really, really important. One thing that I was considering putting in here, and it's something you could put in instead of droplets as well, is Kaiju. So Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, Kaijus, because then the idea is you put your board with a Kaiju on already. So you've already got a boss monster that can be used as link fodder. But it also allows you to get rid of one of your opponent's troublesome monsters. And then because we play Relinquish Anima in the extra deck, which we prefer over Link Karibo just because we want to be more aggressive, as long as you put the Kaiju in a zone facing one of the link zones, you just make your Relinquish Anima and steal it. So if your opponent is sitting on like a Dragoon, if your opponent is sitting on like a 1 card negate, you just get rid of it. But droplets, of course, is going to be a little bit better in that sense because unfortunately we are in a format where it is VFD pass. I've got a trap card as well. And so you're kind of like, right, well, if I can't stop the VFD, I'm not going to be able to play, and then the trap's just going to kill me anyway. So the other thing, you need to adapt this deck to what you're going to be facing at locals. If you think you're going to be facing a lot of Vanity Fiends and Drytrons, then that's where you're going to put in like Imperms, Droplets, Kaijus will help you on that one, less so on the Vanities. And then if you're facing a lot of Virtual World, that's where you're probably going to put in like Ghost Ogres, Cosmic Cyclones, Lightning Storms, Droplets, Imperms, stuff like that, so you can stop the combos going off, and then you just go, hey, I'm going to kill your very friendly dragon with a single Skull Knight, and it's just like so good to break everything apart. So that's it for the deck list on that one. Moving on to the extra deck, we'll go with the standard kind of plays, and then we'll go over the combo kind of pieces that you use. So we've got the one Relinquish Anima. I really, really like this. You can play Link Karibo if you want. It is the more defensive option. Barricade Board Blocker, again, it's just a level 2 dart that just discards a card. So you discard a card, and then because its effect resolves in the end phase, you don't actually have to have a target engraved. You don't even need to have one in the end phase either, but it's just there. So if you do get to that point, you can use it, but you ideally use this in a combo as a free discard. Union Carrier equipped Doomsday to one of your cards and then just bring everything back. Halley Firebrax, part of the combo. If you're like, I really don't want to play Halley Firebrax in any of my builds, and you take it out, you won't be able to complete the full combo. But right now, considering he's going to get an ulti print as well, it's definitely worth playing around with until he does get banned. Phoenix, deal with any troublesome back row that might be causing you an issue, and a Unicorn, and then of course an access code talker. So by the time you make access code, you're going to have lights, darks, waters, and possibly fires in here. So you just go, okay, cool, access, banish stuff, pop stuff. But he is not your one route to win con, he's just an alternative win con, and so is of course Zeus. It's just alternative win cons if you can't get there. Now with Zeus, the options that you've got that you can use is I personally play Princess Sprite, because on this one again, quite like Reasoning, her effect becomes either, yay, I get to add a spell, or no, I get to Foolish Burial one of my cards, and the majority of my cards I actually want in the graveyard, so I'm happy with that. You can play the Lyrillist that lets you attack directly, which just gives you more consistency for Zeus. Then, part of the combo, of course, we do play the number 26 Spaceway Octopus and 2 Levianeers, the Sky Dragons. Now, again, shout out for like the third time in this video for Super Nick. So I can't praise the channel enough on this particular combo video. So again, I'll put the link in the description below. Go check out the full combo videos. It will show you a couple of options. And there's also one that they do use Rusty and they go into Fog Blades and stuff like that. But I wanted to try and come away from that where it's all possible. And then for the synchros, you got your Metal Marcher, you got your Savage, and you got your Coral. So obviously Coral can be consistency for the draw and discard and pop. Savage is there for the negate, and then Metal Marcher is there for the revival of Uni Zombie, and then you can make your rank 3 Levianeers and keep the consistency powering towards that combo. And trust me, once you see the combo, you're going to be like, I get why you're playing it all like this way now, because it makes complete sense. This combo is beyond busted and nuts. So yeah. With all of that out of the way, let's get into today's combo. And again, shout out to Super Nix. I take no credit for this combo whatsoever. I'm just showcasing the content that this person has produced because I think it's so good. And then you can go check out the rest of the video and the other combos that the individual has made. So let's clear up the board state and let's show you this 2-card combo. So, these are the only 2 cards you need to get this 12k OTK combo up, running, going, and complete. So again, shout out to Super Nix. Let's get into this combo. Normal summon your Uni Zombie. Use Uni Zombie's effect to send from deck to graveyard a Mizuki. Use the second effect to send your White Bacon from your hand to said graveyard, making Uni Zombie a level 5. You will then use White Bacon's effect to add from your deck to your hand 1 White Princess and 1 White Mare. You will then resolve White Bacon by sending White Princess from your hand to the graveyard. You will then use Mizuki's effect to banish itself and summon out your White Princess, who will then say, you know what, I'm going to send a White Prince from my deck to my graveyard, and he is going to bring some friends with him with Lady in White and Skull Servant. You will then use White Prince's effect to banish himself, Skull Servant, and Lady in White because the graveyard just isn't full enough for him right now, and summon out King of the Skull Servant. You will then use White Mare's effect to discard, targeting your Lady in White and bringing Lady in White back from the banish zone to your field. You will then overlay Lady in White and White Princess into your Levianeer the Sea Dragon. You will then detach White Princess or Lady in White, doesn't really matter, to bring back your Mizuki. We are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. You will then use the effect, well, no effect on this one, you will then use Uni Zombie plus your Levianeer to make the most broken Link 2 in the game at current, and that is of course going to be your Crystron Halley Firebrax. Halley Firebrax will then use his effect to summon from your deck a Plague Spreader Zombie. You will then use Plague Spreader Zombie plus your King of the Skull Servants, and you're going to make yourself a beautiful Metal Marcher. Metal Marcher will use his effect to bring back the only tuner that we want back on the field, and that is a Uni Zombie. The reason we want that is it is a level 3. So what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? That is exactly right. We do have the ability to overlay into a rank 3, which we will be doing very, very shortly, just after we have linked our Mizuki and our Crystron Halley Firebrax together to make a barricade board blocker. Now this can be any Link 2. The idea of this one is just because you have that discard ability to go, you know what, we're going to discard a card off of this and fill up the grave, again because my hand is not ideal. Because Mizuki is not once per turn, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to banish that, and Mizuki is going to go, again, I'm going to bring back the Princess because, you know, the Princess is quite useful. Quite like Mario, we always got to save that princess. We should do a Super Mario Brothers with Mizuki being our good old Mario. She will then use her effect to say, you know what, sorry Luigi, but you're going to go to the graveyard. And then by sending Luigi from the deck to the graveyard, he is then going to bring 2 friends with him, which can probably be Toad and Yoshi if he wants to. And they're going to go to the graveyard right there. Now we have 3 level 3s on the board, which is a beautiful for everything we need them for, and we have a very stacked graveyard. We're going to overlay the White Princess and the Metal Marcher, and we're going to go into our second copy of Levianeer, detaching specifically White Princess to bring back Mizuki. Stop me if you've seen this one before. Absolutely beautiful. You're then going to use the effect of Mr. White Prince himself and banish your Lady in White and a Skull Servant to special summon out a second King of the Skull Servants from your deck. You're then going to use King of the Skull Servants and Mizuki, and you're going to go into a Union Carrier. Again, very, very important on this one. Really does help you get everything moving that you need. Again, Mizuki is going to replay the exact same phase of banishing himself and special summoning out a White Princess. She will do the exact same play and say, sorry White Prince, but you are going to the graveyard. Only this time, White Prince is going to go to the graveyard alone. If you do play the other copies, by all means, there is no reason not to send them. He will then use his effect once more and banish himself and 2 more Skull Servants from the graveyard to special summon out your 3rd and final copy of the King of the Skull Servants. Now, at this particular moment in time, you might be like, he's not that strong. Most of our stuff is banished. That is correct, because what we are going to do here is we are going to use the effective Union Carrier to target Unizombie, and we are going to give Unizombie a good old present in the form of Doomsday Horror. We will then overlay our Unizombie and our White Prince and go into our number 26 Spaceway Octopass, which will destroy Doomsday. And Doomsday, you go, well, you know what? I miss all my Skull Knight friends, so we're going to bring all of them back, apart from Mizuki. Mizuki, you're not invited, sorry. You've done your job, you stay where you are. Now, as long as they are dark, they are all going back into the graveyard. Now, the best thing about Octopass, if you wanted to use it as a vet, is Octopass is going to say, you know what, let's go into the battle phase. And Octopass is going to say, because I'm in the battle phase, I want one of my cards to attack directly. I'm going to let Skull Servant attack directly. Why are you going to let Skull Servant attack directly? Well, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 in the graveyard. And after I've detached the White Princess specifically, he will have 12,000 attack. Come at me, bro. Now, at any point in this could easily be a Pentastag, but the issue is you need it to point to King of Skull Servant, so Union Carrier kind of gets in your way of that point. You do need to keep the loops going, which is why you couldn't make Union Carrier earlier. So piercing will be a bit of an issue, but again, if you've got Kaijus, if you're going to play that route, you're going to be able to easily go, you know what, Kaiju that, let's go for game. And that is what makes this combo beautiful, and I absolutely love it. Only one monster can attack, but King of the Skull Servant with his entire family, his cousins, his distant twin brothers backing him up, he is definitely going to guarantee you the win if they leave anything in attack mode. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button, hit that notification bell, subscribe so you do not miss out on any more content. Like I said, I will put the link to Super Nix's video in the comments down below. This is just me portraying great content I have found online doing research. There are other combos in there. Watch Super Nix's video to find those combos, to see those combos, and by all means drop him a subscribe, drop them a like as well, and I would love you to do the same here. But for now, as absolutely always guys, stay safe and happy dueling.